Hello, it's Mr. Watson, but you can call me Ian. In this video, I would really like to talk about used games. This is a subject that has received a lot of press lately, especially with the PS4 and Xbox One release on the horizon. There's not going to be any gameplay footage in the background, so feel free to tab out and just listen and browse your favorite gaming site or whatever you want to do. Now, this is a huge subject that you could literally talk about for hours, but in this video, I just want to go into one particular direction, and that's seeing used games as a sort of gateway drug. Now, I know that sounds a little crazy, but I've worked in an independent little game shop for about 3 years, and one of our main businesses was used games, so I can really, this is a first-hand experience that I've had with our customers. The prime example for this argument that I'm going to be using is the Assassin's Creed franchise. Because, as we all remember, or at least most of us, the first Assassin's Creed had a huge hype behind it, it was a really solid game, but overall it was a little underwhelming. The second one built on all the strengths of the first one and was a huge success, rightfully so, and that's where this whole thing comes together. The story goes a little something like this. Around the time that Assassin's Creed 2 came out, I had a lot of customers in the store who were really apprehensive about buying it, basically because they saw the trailers and they thought, oh, this looks cool. But at the same time, they remembered all their friends, their hardcore gamer friends, telling them that the first one was kind of underwhelming, so they were really on the fence whether or not they should actually buy this game. So what ended up happening was that most of these folks ended up waiting for a second-hand copy of the game, because it was comparatively cheap and, it wasn't that big of an investment. And behold, most of them actually really liked it once they played it. This actually converted them into true believers, and they ended up buying Brotherhood, Revelations, and even Assassin's Creed 3 as a new game. So you can see where I'm going with this. Now, without the initial used game sale, there arguably would have never been any other sales down the line. Obviously, this is not something you can actually prove or disprove, but I think it's high time that developers and publishers admit that there are upsides to used games. We could argue all day about the current system not being fair towards publisher and developers, which is true. It is flawed. But the thing is, especially with the Xbox One, we're falling from one extreme end to the other. So the goal should be to find some sort of middle ground where the publisher and the game shops can coexist peacefully, with both earning a decent wage. Because I'd say it's safe to assume that either side having too much power, one side being the publisher and the other side being the game retailers, having too much power is just not a good thing for gaming as a whole. Anyway, I don't presume to have all the answers. That would just be outrageous. But I think this story is worth telling, and maybe it gets a couple of people talking, and maybe something will come of it. We'll see. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like. If you have any input to give, post a comment. I'm always glad to read those. And if you like what you see, maybe I'll talk more about these kind of subjects in the future. Subscribe to the channel and take care, alright?